to work on the hair and the hairpiece. These pieces took me longer and more thinking than most of the sewing, as I'm still learning how to make props with foam sheets and foam clay, and I'm also still a beginner when it comes to wig styling. I had planned on using the cookie mold in a different way, but that didn't seem to work out too well, so I decided to press it hard into the craft foam to make an impression and cut out the snowflake. This is a Loomis Workshop foam clay. It's an air-dry clay that you can make anything out of it that you want, allow it to air dry, and then it turns into craft foam. It's great for cosplay props and armor, as it is feather light once dry. I got this mold off of Amazon. Press the foam clay into the mold as much as you can, and then put it in the freezer for about an hour. Once you remove it from the freezer, it pops out of the mold quite easily, then you can leave it to dry. I cut off the extra very carefully with my snips. Once cut out, they're ready for the painting and the gluing. For his hair sticks, I drew the shape I wanted to make onto a piece of paper and made it on a clear piece of scrap plastic. This foam is sandable, so you can smooth out any rough parts once it's completely dry. Now they're ready for sanding, painting, and attaching to some painted wooden chopsticks. Next is the base. I got this craft foam from the dollar store. I drew the template out of paper, traced it onto the foam, and cut it out. Since it's quite thin, I doubled it up, so it would be fine. To do a dry contact glue application, put the glue all over the object. And then smooth it out evenly across the surface. Allow that to dry. Repeat for the second thing that you're going to glue. Once both pieces are dry, very carefully place it where you want it and press. The contact glue should stick to each other immediately and not shift. Next, I cut very thin strips of foam for the top and the bottom of the hairpiece. I applied the glue in the same way and carefully placed the pieces. They don't like to be removed once they're placed, so be careful. You can get special glue erasers to get rid of any excess glue on your surfaces, but if you don't have one, a little bit of glue itself will also help remove some of the extra. Here, I'm using some of the foam clay to fill in the gap of the detailing at the top. And left that to dry. Everything will be covered with paint later. Finally, glue all of the pieces into place. Now it's ready for spray paint. Next, the wig. This is a weft of wig hair I bought from Arta Wigs Canada. It has a bit of lacing at the top which you can use to sew into existing wigs. Carefully clip the amount of weft you want to use. Also, fray check is your best friend for this. This is a jasmine wig. There isn't a lot of styling involved to get the Shofukan hairdo, but there is some work that needs to be done. I sewed little bits of white hair wefts into the front bangs to make it look like the wearer is going grey. I have no idea what that's like at all. I just wanted little wisps of hair for the top. This is what the wig looks like before sewing in the wefts. Next is to add the white on the side bangs and around the temples. And here is a side I prepared earlier. Unfortunately, the wefts, which in every situation would be great as they are too thick and full for my purposes, so I had to thin it out a bit. All I did was snip some of the fullness to make it less skunk-like. Once it got to the level I liked, I took a black Sharpie and colored the thread top of the weft and the trimmed fibers to make it blend better into the deep brown wig. Since this is a ponytail wig, but Shou's hair is not, I had to also sew in some deep brown wefts to make his hair long and not just his ponytail. To complete the hairpiece, I dry brushed silver paint onto it, got a hair clip, and made a foam base to curve the main bit into place. I also added a clip at the bottom to help stabilize it on the top bangs. Here, I'm reusing some feathers I got from an old pair of Halloween angel wings. And it's complete! Keep watching my Instagram for when I can finally get a photo shoot going with the costume. Next up, I'm planning on working on one of these 3 from the show. Why do I punish myself so? Stay tuned!